dear friends, I hope this finds you well once again. I thought that in light of the fact that we won't be joining together, unfortunately, on this Shabbat HaGadol, when rabbis traditionally give a significant drasha, I thought to share with you just one more idea that can maybe give a little bit of inspiration for this Shabbat HaGadol, but also as we move into Pesach next week. We of course know that on Pesach we recite the Seder, and the Seder for many of us will look very different this year than it does in normal years. Seder means order. Order. And of course we need order in our lives more than ever in light of the tremendous chaos that exists outside. But for something that's supposed to be about order, it is so chaotic. It's all over the place. We start off with Kiddush, okay, that makes sense, but then we wash our hands, we don't make a bracha, and then we have a little bit of a vegetable, right? What's going on there? Then we break some mats, then we tell the story. It seems like it's jumping from place to place, and there's no real structure. The truth is, I want to suggest a different sort of structure that emerges from actually a question that we can ask on something that happens at the end of Magid that's very weird. It's very weird. At the end of Magid, we're telling the story. We go through all the different ways of relating to the Exodus. We do a good job of it. We relate to it in many ways. And then finally, we start to say Hallel, thank you Hashem, Hallelujah, right? Praise be. We start to say Hallel, but we only say two chapters of Hallel. And then we stop. We make a bracha. We drink the wine, and then we move on, we start eating. Now you might think, the rabbis are saying, okay, listen, we've reached a certain point, it's been enough, the Jews are probably going to complain way too much, we haven't been eating in a while, so let's say a little bit of it now, let's eat, and then we'll finish it later. We actually do finish it later. We finish Hallel later on in the section of Hallel. So that's what you might think. However, actually, I want to suggest, this is based upon an idea that I heard from Rabbi Benjamin Blech, beautiful idea. I want to suggest that the answer to this question of why we do this helps us see a really powerful structure that emerges in the Seder. What happened when the Jewish people, one of the many things that happened when the Jewish people were taken out of Egypt, is they came to know God. They came to understand God in a very deep way. But the Jewish version of God, if you will, or one of the main names of God, is the Shem Havaya, the Shem Yud, Hey, Vav, and Hey. And we don't even, it's the name's so holy, we can't even pronounce it properly. We can't even say the words as they are. But one of the things we're told about it is that it refers to the idea that God was, Haya, God is, Hoveh, and God will be, Yihiyeh, God will be. God is beyond time. God is beyond space. And this is what this name refers to. And so on the Pesach Seder, as we are celebrating our connection with God, with the Shem Havaya, with God, this idea of God was, God is, God always will be, actually is reflected in the nature of the Seder. Because why do we first start saying Hallel and then immediately stop? Well, those two sections, those two initial chapters of Hallel are referring to God redeeming us from Egypt. They're all relating to Yetziat Mitzrayim. B'tzeit Yisrael mi Mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am lo'ez. When the Jewish people left Egypt, that part of Hallel is referring to God saving us in the past. God Haya, God was. But then we must relate to God in the now. How do you relate to God in the now? By eating. Many people think that eating is just this sort of mundane thing that we do in order to keep our bodies alive, or maybe just because we love the taste of food. But no, in the Jewish religion, in the philosophy of Judaism, eating is one of the holiest things that we can do, where we transform something mundane into an experience of God's kindness, of God's compassion, that he sustains us in this moment when we make a bracha, when we eat mindfully, and when we make a bracha afterwards. We are acknowledging that this thing, I might think that I got a job and I bought something and I went to the store and I found something that was grown by farmers and then produced and then put together, and here it is, right? No. When I eat something, I'm actually experiencing the kindness and the love and the presence of God in the most intimate way, of a God in the now. We eat the matzah. We eat the maror. We taste those things now, in this moment. We don't just talk about them. We live them now, right now. And when we have Shulchan Aruch and we eat the foods together and we talk with friends and family, whoever is there with us, we are experiencing God in this present moment. And then after we have that experience of God in the now, we move on to tzafun, eating the Afikomen. And tzafun means hidden. Because even though in this reality, you and I, we can experience God in a revealed way, we also know that there's something hidden, that there's something more, that there's something that will be. And so we take this Afikomen, these little pieces of something that was hidden away. We broke it earlier. We put it away for later. There's something more that we aren't experiencing right now. There's a revelation of God that we do not know yet. But we can taste it. We can taste it a little bit. And then we thank God, because obviously we have to bench after we finish the eating. And we move on to that Hallel. We finish Hallel, and those sections of Hallel relate to God redeeming us in the future. God redeeming us in the future. And then after that, we say to God, we finish off Chasal Sidor Pesach Kilchato. We finished the order, Seder Pesach Kilchato, the order of Pesach. And just like you redeemed us in the past, and just like you are redeeming us right now and allowing us to relate to you right now in this moment, so too Hashem in the future. May that future be now, but in the future, may you redeem us fully. And so what we see here is the structure of a revelation of Hashem, that the Seder itself is a way that we can relate and experience Hashem both in the past and in the present and in the future. In the past, in the verses that we talk about, in the Magid that we learn about what happened in the past, in the Hallel that we say, in the present, in the foods that we eat, in the conversations that we have, and in the future, as we eat the Afikomen and also pray for that future redemption. This, my friends, is what Pesach is about. And there's no question that in these years, in this year, with all the difficulty that we face and with all the chaos that we experience and all the lack of understanding and all the fear and all the anxiety, we need this right now. We need this more than ever, my friends. We need this Seder. We need this order. We need Hashem in our lives. We need more godliness in our lives. And there's no question that the difficulties that we're experiencing are a deep spiritual call to humanity, yes, but to us first and foremost, to you and to me. Hashem's calling out to us. And on Pesach, a deep experience of Hashem's presence is there for us, should we choose it. Should we choose it. So my friends, I want to bless you with a Shabbat Shalom. May it be a big Shabbat as you stay home, as you protect the lives of others around you. Rest a little bit, read, prepare for next week. And I bless you with the most beautiful and redemptive Pesach you could ever imagine. Yes, some people might be alone this year and it's very sad, and this is a challenge. But I want to challenge all of you to reach deep and try to feel Pesach in the deepest possible way, to experience what it means to be in a relationship with Hashem. May Hashem reveal himself to you that he was in the past, that he is right now with us here. As difficult as things may be, Hashem is right here, right now. And please God also, may we all merit to see the God of the future, the God of the future redemption, the redemption that will put all other redemptions to shame. May we see that future redemption may be brought into the very now, into the here and the now. Take Efimiyad, right now. My friends, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.